You just crossed the $1 million mark. Your investment portfolio shows 7 figures. You should feel untouchable right now. So why are you sitting at your kitchen table running the numbers for the 4th time this week, wondering if you can actually afford to retire before 70? Why does $1 million feel like it is barely enough to keep your head above water? My name is Dave, and I have spent way too much time studying why wealth in America has become an optical illusion. If you have ever felt like your money should stretch further than it does, or if you have wondered why people with more money than you will ever see still seem stressed about their finances, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if it helps you see your situation differently. The United States now has nearly 24 million millionaires. That is the highest number of any country on Earth. And here's the thing that will mess with your head. 36% of them say they do not actually feel wealthy. 1 in 3 millionaires looks at their bank account and feels broke. This should be the group that figured it all out. They won the money game. They hit the number everyone else is chasing. Yet 35% of them say it would take a miracle to feel secure in retirement. Think about that for a second. So what is really going on here? The answer comes down to 3 invisible forces eating away at purchasing power in 2026. Forces that will hit you whether you have got 100,000 or 10 million in the bank. The first force is inflation. You've been told that inflation is cooling off. The headline number sits at 2.7%. That sounds manageable until you realize what that actually means for your daily life. Core inflation, the stuff you actually buy regularly, like housing and services, is running at 2.8% and climbing. Economists are now projecting it could push toward 4% by the end of this year because of tariff impacts. Let me break this down in real terms. The cost of living adjustment for Social Security benefits in 2026 added about $56 monthly to the average check. That works out to $672 extra per year. Meanwhile, healthcare premiums alone went up by hundreds of dollars. Medicare premiums increased by $21.50 monthly. Luxury goods, the rewards people chase after building wealth, have seen prices surge year after year. Designer brands planned additional price hikes throughout 2026. Bain is forecasting 3 to 5% growth in luxury sales, and most of that past growth came from raising prices rather than selling more items. Chanel bags jumped 4.6% in 2025 alone. So your $1 million, it buys less every single month. Run the math on what $1 million bought 10 years ago versus what it buys today. The gap will make your stomach drop. The second force is taxes. The top federal income tax rate for 2026 is 37% for anyone earning over $640,600. That is just federal. Add state taxes on top. In places like California, effective rates can exceed 50%, half of every dollar going to the government before you see it. Capital gains get hit at 20% plus a 3.8% net investment income tax. That means your investment returns get shaved down before they even hit your account. Required minimum distributions in retirement force you to pull money out of tax-advantaged accounts and pay income tax on withdrawals, whether you need the cash or not. The system extracts money at every turn. Nearly 400 millionaires globally have actually called for higher taxes on the super rich. They see what's coming. The squeeze is getting tighter. The third force is the cost explosion in everything millionaires are supposed to buy. Healthcare costs are projected to rise 7 to 9% annually, with national spending expected to hit $8.6 trillion by 2033. If ACA subsidies expire, premiums could double for some families. Private college tuition averages $44,961 per year now, up 3.3%. A 4-year degree runs close to $262,000. Private K-12 schools average $14,888 yearly per kid. Multiply that across multiple children over 13 years, And you're looking at serious outflows that delay retirement or drain reserves. Real estate looks worse. Median home prices are expected to rise to around $417,560, with mortgage rates sitting at 6.3%. That combination makes monthly payments brutal even for high earners. You become what is called house rich and cash poor. Your net worth is technically high because of property values, but your actual liquid cash is stretched thin, paying for maintenance, property taxes, and repairs. High rates lock homeowners in place, limiting mobility and trapping capital. Here is where it gets interesting. The stock market had a solid 2025, with the S&P 500 up 16%. Everyone assumed the good times would keep rolling. Forecasts for 2026 are more cautious, though, projecting 9 to 12% returns. Some analysts point to 40% of S&P stocks potentially ending the year negative. The top 1% holds massive stock positions. That means retirement portfolios are riding a wave that could turn choppy fast. Millionaires with heavy stock exposure watch their paper wealth fluctuate by tens of thousands of dollars in a single week. A market correction could wipe out $250,000 from $1 million portfolio before you can react. That volatility creates real anxiety, regardless of the number on your statement. I know what you're thinking. If millionaires are struggling, what hope does anyone else have? Here's the thing that nobody wants to admit. The same forces squeezing millionaires are squeezing you at every income level. The difference is, millionaires have numbers big enough to see the problem clearly. Their portfolios act like magnifying glasses, showing exactly where wealth gets drained. Consumer confidence plummeted in early 2026 amid concerns over job security and affordability. Unemployment hovers around 4%, which sounds fine until you realize wage growth has not kept pace with expenses. The gap between what you earn and what things cost keeps widening. GDP growth is forecasted at around 2% this year, down from 2.7% in 2025. The real kicker is household debt in America has now hit $18 trillion. Even wealthy households use leverage for investments, taking on debt to amplify returns. Credit card interest rates average 23%. That debt service takes a massive bite out of wealth building potential for everyone from six-figure earners to eight-figure earners. Total household wealth might be at $180 trillion, but debt keeps climbing at 4.1% annually. Wealth inequality has hit a 30-year high. The top 1% now controls 33% of all wealth. 1/3 of Americans cannot afford basic necessities. The middle class is shrinking while the upper middle booms. So, what actually works in this environment? First, diversification across asset classes becomes critical. Stocks alone will not cut it when 40% might end negative. Bonds, real estate, and alternative investments spread risk across different economic scenarios. Second, max out every tax-advantaged account available to you. Roth IRAs now allow contributions up to $7,500 annually. That money grows tax-free forever. Use every shelter the tax code offers, because the government will take whatever you do not protect. Third, build an emergency fund that actually matches your lifestyle. The old advice said 3 to 6 months of expenses. In 2026, with healthcare costs spiking and job security uncertain, 12 months provides real peace of mind. Fourth, track your spending against actual inflation in categories that matter to you. Generic inflation numbers do not capture what healthcare, education, or housing costs look like for your specific situation. The millionaires who feel broke are watching their wealth get eroded by forces outside their control, while maintaining lifestyles calibrated to a different economic era. Lifestyle creep catches everyone. Bigger homes mean higher property taxes and maintenance costs. More income means more expected spending. The ones who feel secure are the ones who adjusted their expectations and strategies to match reality. That $1 million number everyone chases represents something different now than it did a decade ago. The goalposts moved while everyone was focused on hitting an old target. Real wealth in 2026 means understanding these forces and building systems that protect purchasing power over time. You might not be a millionaire yet, but you're going to face the same inflation, the same tax pressure, and the same cost explosions eating into whatever you manage to save. The advantage you have right now is seeing the game clearly before you get caught in the same trap. Knowledge changes everything. Your future self will thank you for paying attention. I'll see you in the next one.